Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon Trading Card Game live video. My name is Jamie and today I'll be taking you through another deck which has come out from the most recent expansion, which of course is Destined's Rivals. But as always, just before we do go into the video, if you do like this sort of content and would like to see some more content related to the Pokemon Trading Card Game, as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course like this video. So let's have a look at the deck of today. We're looking at this card here, Slaking EX. So pretty tanky Pokemon with 340 HP. It's a colorless type. And it has this attack here, Great Swing. So for just 2 energy, 2 colors energy in fact, does 280 damage. That's pretty strong. Although it does have a bit of a drawback, which of course is that you need to discard an energy card from this Pokemon. So another minor thing I guess to this card is it does have this ability here, Born to Slack, which means that if your opponent has no EX Pokemon or V Pokemon in play, then this Pokemon can't attack. However, there are ways of getting around that. So it does have a weakness to fighting, and of course there's a retreat cost of 4, so pretty hefty to get out the retreat cost if it is there, if it's stuck there. So just to keep that in mind. Yeah, that is Slaking EX, so very strong, 280 damage. So there are ways we can obviously get that a little bit higher and try and get those one-shots. But what other Pokemon best work well with Slaking? Well, we have this card here. So Blaziken's optional. I quite like it. I think it adds a little bit of versatility to the deck. You can also attack with Blaziken if you want to hit some weaknesses on some of those grass Pokemon as well. Even things like, for example, for our Chaladons and stuff like that. Zacians, if you want to, you can also go with down the route of Blaziken. So Blaziken, yeah, it can attack for 200 damage for just a fire and a colorless. Of course, does have the drawback as well of that added effect there, which you can't attack the following turn. But it's predominantly being used here for its ability, which is Seeding Spirit, which once during your turn you can attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So keep that in mind that we are using Slaking here. We have to discard an energy from it. So the idea is we discard the energy and we put it back on with the Blaziken. So there are other ways of getting around this as well. So other options. So if you choose not to go down the Blaziken line or the Blaziken route, then there are some other options you could potentially take as well, but that is one route that you can potentially think about. So, other Pokemon in the deck that we include, of course, so Slaking is pretty tanky with 340 HP, which means it can take a hit or 2. So we have Munkidori there. So Munkidori can utilize this ability there, move the damage counters off it, and yeah, so we can get that 280, put 3 damage counters on our opponent's active Pokemon if we want to, or even on the bench as well, and turn that 280 into a 310 there. So 310 gets into the Gardevoir range there, so we start one-shotting Gardevoirs and anything else that has 310 HP. So yeah, there's even ways of getting that higher if you want to. We'll look at that very shortly. Fezandipiti for Flip the Script, pretty standard, not really too much explanation needed there. We've also got here Fan Rotom as well, so with Fan Call, so we can search out for 3 basic Pokemon with 100 HP or less. So just a really good way of just trying to set up. We do have 3 Slakoth in here as well, so we can use Fan Rotom, get the Slakoth out and put that on the bench. So do keep in mind that it's only on turn 1 though, so if you do miss it on turn 1, then obviously it becomes a bit of a dead card. So Tatsugiri for attract customers, just try and get some supporter cards out quicker from your deck. And of course, just a bit of protection to the bench, we also have another new card from Destined's Rivals, which is Shaymin for Flower Curtain. So this prevents all damage done to your bench by attacks of your opponent's Pokemon if they don't have a rule box. So if your Pokemon don't have a rule box, basically an EX Pokemon, so to say. So things like, for example, you're protecting things like your Slakoth there, you're protecting things like if you have Fan Rotom there, Munkidori, so those are the types of things that you are protecting. So that is the idea. So that's the Pokemon line, and that is the more or less the synergy of the deck with Blaziken and Slaking. So some other cards you have in the deck, especially along the trainer lines. So we've got here Team Rocket's Watchtower. So this basically means that both none of yours and your opponent's Pokemon, then our colors have abilities, so that's pretty good. So we can shut off then our Born to Slack, which means even if your opponent does not have a Pokemon with an EX or a V Pokemon, V is pretty much irrelevant, but EX Pokemon, then we can still attack nonetheless. So that's why that is in there. Of course, just do be a little bit cautious if you are going to play Fan Rotom. Remember that does switch off that as well, so you want to use Fan Rotom first and then use Team Rocket's Watchtower. So Kieran is in there as well, so Kieran just to get those numbers even higher if we want to. So now we can start getting into the 330 ranges, especially with Munkidori. We can get that even I think to 340, so 310 plus 30. So that's why we have Kieran in there. Maximum Belt is our ace spec of choice. Again, getting those numbers even higher. So 280, that becomes 330. That knocks out most Pokemon in the format, especially those big EXs, Charizard, so to say, Dragapult, etc., etc. So keep in mind that is a tool card, but another option for a tool card we also have, of course, is Powerglass. So if we are not needing to hit those big numbers, we can just attach a Powerglass onto our Slaking and then just get the energy back every single turn, as long as it is in the active spot. So that is a potential option as well, depending on the matchup, of course, depending on what you're playing against. But other cards are pretty standard, to be honest. I mean, we've got 3 Arven there. We've got 2 Research, 2 Bosses as well. 1 Colress is Tenacity, we can get Special Energy, and we can also get Stadium cards as well, so that's pretty good. Just 1 Crispin. So if we are a turn behind, then of course we can also just use Crispin and to get those 2 energy onto our Pokemon should we need to. So we put 1 into hand and 1 onto our Pokemon, predominantly Slaking. So if you want to go down the route of not playing Blaziken, you can perhaps bump up this a little bit more as well, the Crispin line. That could be a potential option. And the rest is pretty standard. So just Rare Candies, Buddies, Earthen Vessel. We've got a TM Evolution there as well. The rest is, I think, pretty self-explanatory. So that is that. And of course, energy, we were looking a little bit like this. So we've got Dark Energy there for our Munkidori. We've got Fire Energy to utilize Blaziken. We've got 1 Jet Energy there just for switching, and Psychic Energy there as well. And finally, in terms of Special Energy, we've also got this Boomerang Energy as well. So this is pretty good. So as long as basically every time we have to discard an energy card from our Pokemon, so our Slaking, we can put the Boomerang Energy into the discard pile, and this will then come back at the end of your turn and reattach itself to our Slaking. So basically it's like not having to discard anything. So Boomerang Energy works quite nicely with our Slaking here. So yeah, just a pretty nice, so yeah, we have to discard energy with that, and we can just pretty much discard the Boomerang Energy. That is the idea. So yeah, that is the idea of the deck. So just hit big numbers here with Slaking. It's a very, very tanky Pokemon. But as I said, there are ways of kind of changing the deck if you want. If you don't want to go down the Blaziken route, you can perhaps up things more a little bit like Crispins, for example. You can put more like Boomerang Energies in there. There are a few different options there, more Powerglass even. That is a potential play. But that is the idea of the deck. That's how the deck functions. Let's go play a match with it and see how it plays out. Okay, so our opponent is going with Tails. Let's see if they call this right or not. They do not. We can choose. So we will go first. I think that is the optimal play there. So rely on evolutions. Of course, with evolutions, you always want to go first. So let's see. Okay, we've got 1 slack. Okay, ooh, not a. I mean, actually, next time we can candy into Slaking, but need to see if we survive that long. Let's see. Let's see what they open up with. Oh, okay, it's gonna be hard to tell. Hard to tell. Kieran, oh, not good. Not good at all. All right, I'll have to just pass turn on that. That is not good. So next turn we can candy into Slaking. So that will. That's not bad. The issue after that is we need some energy to start attacking with. So top deck Crispin would be very nice right about now. Or even just Buddy-Buddy, just to set up a little bit more. Let's see. Let's see what we draw into. So Fire Energy, could that be Charizard? Energy and Nest Ball. Okay, yeah, could be Charizard. I'm trying to think what else plays Fire. Ceruledge maybe, that could be a play. Okay, right. Doesn't look like the starters that good either. Arven, nice, okay, very good. So let's candy into that, right? That's very good. We're not really going to be doing too much attacking wise here. Let's see, maybe we should get a Vessel. I think we get a Vessel and we just try and apply a bit of pressure. I mean, we can't really. We've got a Watchtower in deck, in hand, even they've got an EX out, so I'm trying to think, oh, Buddy, but then Buddy doesn't really do much for us right about now. I mean, except a little bit. Okay, we'll just take those 2. Cool, let's do that. We'll get rid of Combusken for now. Cool, take 2 energy, we'll do the Dark in deck just for later on, for maybe a Munkidori or something, so we'll just touch a Fire Energy, just to apply a little bit of pressure there. Good. So next time we'll get the knockout. And hopefully we can take something from prizes as well. But we do have Watchtower in hand as well, so we'll stick Watchtower down. And yeah, with Watchtower, then we can yeah, eradicate that one Slack, but it doesn't really make too much difference anyway because they do have EX Pokemon in play. So let's see. We also do have bosses in. Oh, Iono. Okay, interesting. All right. And so we have bosses in hand as well. We could also bring up the Ho-Oh, knock that out. So okay, another slacking. Oh, okay. Artisan. Okay, all right. We have. Okay, we've also used a vessel there. All right, interesting. Okay, this is yeah, Typh. Okay, there's another concept that's come up from Destined's Rivals, which is the Typhlosion Ho-Oh concept. So should make things a little bit more interesting. So okay. All right, that's fine. That's okay. That's a Boomerang Energy. Nice. That's a really good top deck actually, because that is going to help us out quite significantly. So so Fan Rotom is pretty much dead at this point. So is there anything we want to get out here? Munkidori probably. Inspect board. Because then we can get the Arven. The Arven can get us out a Buddy-Buddy there. So cool. Nice. All right, just Arven there. So let's get Buddy-Buddy, and we'll get back out the. Do we need maximum? I mean, they've not really. We don't need Powerglass, do we? So we can get Powerglass, I think. Cool, because we're just going to be bouncing. There we go. Just take those two. Yeah, we're going to be bouncing things here, so we'll just yeah, let's get Powerglass there. Okay, Boomerang Energy. That's nice. Powerglass. I guess we'll stick that on. Why not? Cool, then we've got a Candy in hand, Candy, Blaziken, so I think we're all good there. Let's just get a knockout there, 280 damage. With great swing. Cool. We ditched the Boomerang Energy here, and that comes straight back on, which is very nice. I believe Ho-Oh is not hitting too much here. Oh no, Buddy-Buddy. Ho-Oh is not hitting too much, 160, so we'll take 160. That's absolutely fine. We can take a 160, and then yeah, 160, and then yeah, we can move 30 off. That's 130, so 260. Okay, so it's like a 2-shot. Okay, it's just gonna hit us a 30. Is that it? All right. So next time we have the option, depending on what we draw, we have the option of Candy, and we've got Blaziken or Slacking. I'm going to go down, so we play a thicker line of Slacking here, so in terms of the evolution line, in terms of the Slakoth and Vigoroth as well. So we can prioritize the Blaziken, considering that and I think we've also ditched as well a Combusken earlier as well, so we'll Candy into the Blaziken, and then we can also then just try and set up the Slacking in another way there. So go through stages. Tatsugiri, okay, it's fine. Let's Buddy-Buddy. Do we want another Torchic? I don't think we have. Alright, I don't think we have any more Combusken deck, so I think we just pass that. We don't want that. It's Candy there. Into Blaziken. Alright, and just Artisan for the sake of checking. I don't think there's anything else in deck that we need. No, okay. They don't really hit damage on the bench either, so I think that's okay. We'll get Shaymin there, that's fine. Cool, they've got 3 cards in hand, we take a knockout on that. With Iono 5, we would take a knockout. We give them 6 cards. Don't think they didn't even play support card last time, I don't think, so I think that we should just. We could get a Dark Energy though. Dark Energy with the damage, but it's not going to do much anyway, so I think we just. Great swing. That is a play. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there goes Boomerang Energy coming to play. I believe they rely on having Ethan cards in their discard pile, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't believe they have any Ethan cards. So I think that we should be good here. I think we should be okay. Let's see, Lava. All right, and then this is the card that they need, right? This is so the Ethan Adventure card. That is the one. All right. Although, I believe that it's the Typhlosion that is the attacker in this deck as well, so if they've evolved into Quilava this turn, that means that they won't be getting a Typhlosion out this turn, which is quite nice. So, I think Ho is when you put it from the hand to the bench. Once during your turn, you can, okay. So that's once during your turn. Okay, they have no energy in this card pile though, so. But even if they do, they just hit for 160. It's like not a lot. So. Cool. All right. So then Ethan's Adventure. Okay. So then this is where the damage starts to come from the Typhlosion. But they can't get the Typhlosion out anyway, so we've got 4 cards. Okay, so ideally here, yeah, I mean the route would be to get knockout on EXs here because we've taken 2 knockouts on 2 non-EX Pokemon. So what we want to do is try and get a knockout on the on 2 EX Pokemon to finish up the game a little bit more quickly. So otherwise, we will be knocking out 3 Pokemon. So that's obviously the active or whatever Pokemon they have, or Typhlosion, so to say. And then a Ho, and then a Mew, so we want to try or a non-EX as well. But we want to try and close out the game as quickly as possible. That is, of course, taking knockouts on EXs, which they have 2 sitting on the bench there. We'll try and target that. We've got 1 Adventure, that's fine. Alright. This might be a nice time actually to play Iono, because I presume that they've searched, I forgot what they searched for, but I presume they've got Quillavas and things like that in hand. So. Cool, that's fine, we don't want anything. Okay, cool, let's put Watchtower there. Oh, why not? So, we're kind of ahead, so we're going to just count Tatsugiri, we want, yeah, which is just weird right now. I don't think they're in it. Let's get Vigoroth here. Let's just try and set up another Slakoth here. There we go. And we'll have 2 Iono. There we go, draw into 4 cards. Okay. Alright, I think that's fine. We'll stick a Rescue Ball and a Munkidori there. And Nest Ball, we don't really need anything with Nest Ball. For now, I'll hold out on the Nest Ball. Let's just Great Swing. Cool. So hopefully that's kind of reset their Ethan's Adventure. Hopefully that's reset that a little bit, because I presume they have things in hand set up for next turn, but we've Iono'd them, unfortunately to 6, but we've Iono'd them to put those cards at the bottom of the deck, and we've also knocked out their Quillava, so it means that Typhlosion, unless they have a Candy and Typhlosion, they won't be getting, oh, there's another Ethan's Adventure, okay, so now we just need a knockout, and then with the knockout, then we need just a, okay, so no Typhlosion here either. So but yeah, now we just need a knockout and an EX knockout. That's the prize map at the moment. Slugma, interesting. Okay, they play Macargo as well. All right, that's very interesting. Or maybe they're not even playing Typhlosion. Maybe they're just playing Quillava. Maybe they're just playing Quillava for the ability, and maybe they're just going down the Macargo route. That might be what they're doing here. I thought it was a Typhlosion deck. Alright, I guess with Fezandipiti put that out. Do we need special energy? Energy, I suppose. Just Arven. Let's see, is there anything? Take the maximum belt. I guess we take Ultra Ball. I think that's fine. Yeah, get the bench rates for free. That's okay. Then we can Ultra Ball 1, 2. Okay, I think that's okay for the moment. All right. Yeah, I think we don't have any dark energy. We can't move the damage off slacking, but that's fine. We also do have Blaziken as well. We can put the energy back onto our if we get our slacking out. And we also have Colress's Tenacity as well. We can also use Colress's Tenacity to get another energy, providing there is another energy in deck as a special energy on the Boomerang energy, so another Ultra Ball. Okay, good. Okay, so we're not doing too bad. The question is, can they get a knockout? That is the question. Can they get a knockout of bosses? Okay, what are they going to bring up? So if they bring up Blaziken, we have Maximum Belt in hand. We can also use Maximum Belt and, okay, interesting. Interesting, you can take a knockout on my Munkidori. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm not really too sure what they. I mean, they have to lead here with Bakago. I think they have to retreat this and lead with. But I'm very surprised that they've chosen to bring up the Munkidori here. Cool, and then flip the script. Okay, Max Rod. All right. Let me put it back. Okay. Just go down the route of 160. Okay. Interesting. I thought they would have gone with Makago, and then I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe you have to ditch the energy card from hand. That's why you play Max Rod to get the hits with Makago. That's how you get the one shots. So I'm very okay. Unless they wait, but they just. Oh, I don't know if they. What did they do? Okay. All right. I know they're still using Golden Flame. Was it just the energy card? No, you have to attach the energy to the Pokemon. That's what it was, and you discard all the energy. That's what it is, right? So, so you Golden Flame onto the Makago, and then that's how you get the knockout. But that's really surprising. They've gone down the route of just doing that, because now I just promote this and I get the knockout and I win. So it's interesting. Interesting play, certainly. Yeah, I would just flip the script. Why not? Okay, so we have yeah, pretty nice there. Cool. We'll just great swing, 330 with the knockout, and that is game. So Slaking is the victor. Guess what? Like, what is quite cool about Slaking is that nice. Okay. Yeah, is that if you're playing against a deck that doesn't run evolutions, like for example, like evolutions reference to EXs, things like Ho-Ohs, Mews, Chien-Paos, that kind of stuff, then you don't really need to do much. You just keep great swinging and just keep getting the knockout, because 280 pretty much knocks out anything, even things like Raging Bolts and Teal Mask Ogopons, or Ogopons in general. But if you're against stage 2 decks, things like, I don't know, like Garchomp, for example, Dragapult, Charizard, all those different types of decks, then yeah, we have options to get those numbers even higher. So things like Munkidori's, Kieran's, Maximum Belts, so we can get those one shots pretty nicely with Slaking. So really, really strong deck. I'm curious to know what your thoughts and opinions are of Slaking. I'll leave the list in the description box below if you guys want to check that out and have a look for yourself and see kind of what you think of Slaking. But if you do like this type of content and you want to see some more content related to the Pokemon trading card game, then as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and of course like this video. That would be amazing. But there you pretty much have it, guys. That was Slaking EX for you. So thank you very much for watching, and see you all in the next one.